Hey guys, it's me, Lil Ninja, back with another video, and today we're doing What If Deku Was a Power Ranger? And this leans into more of the shows that aren't anime, which I will be doing much more often, instead of something like Ben 10 or Adventure Time. Actually, I haven't done that yet, and I think that might be copyrighted, so I don't want to do that, maybe. Unless you guys really want me to do it, and then I'll probably do it. But if you guys don't really want me to do it Adventure Time, I won't do it. Also, we need to get to 300 subscribers because we are almost at 300 subscribers. If you've seen any of my last videos, then you know that I've been hyping this up because we are going to get there before the end of February, which is before the end of this month, because it's amazing and it's a long month. I mean, it's not a long month. It's a month. Well, I hope you liked the video. See you in the video. It's Little Ninja time. So we start with Izuku graduating. Graduating through middle school. Actually, starting to do what he usually does in the exact same canon. Instead, as soon as a sludge villain appears itself, he is teleported into a different place. Izuku would look around, not knowing what it is. He would see a bunch of rangers. Well, he doesn't know what they are called. He would see a bunch of little statues, not knowing what they are. He would play them no mind, and then he would see five stones with an open, basically, door. He would see a red one, a green one, a blue one, a pink one, and a yellow one. And then he would see the one in the middle, a silver/golden one. He would put his hand on the green one, not knowing what to do at this point. He would start looking around until he saw what he thinks is a face statue. Izuku would be startled as the statue would begin to talk, saying that Izuku Midoriya, in this new universe that I have been transported to, I have chosen you to become a ranger. Seeing as there are too many heroes, you will be the only ranger. One of the only teams that only had one ranger. You will be the Green Ranger. Also, in this universe, I cannot sustain myself. I will be gone in a few weeks. But I want you to train with all these keys, with this belt and this morpher. You'll be able to use all the powers of the past rangers, and even your own new powers. Izuku would look at the keys and look at all the things he got. Izuku would put on his belt and would grab his morpher, as the morpher would disappear right as it touched his hands. Gosei Great, which is actually what he's called, which is actually what Izuku calls him, and is his actual name. Izuku would ask, why did the morpher disappear? When Gosei would say, the morpher disappeared because now it is strictly bonded to you like a cork. Nobody else will be able to use it. So, if your morpher ever got stolen, you could just summon it back to yourself. Meaning nobody will have the chance to take it away from you. Izuku would get teleported out as Gosei Great would say his goodbyes and would slowly start to fade into actual stone. Overestimating the time he had to live. Izuku would pop back into real existence, and he would look at his belt, thinking that this is great. The belt would actually disappear, and his morpher would also disappear. And he would think he just had to summon them back, not even thinking about All Might. All Might would see this, actually thinking that he must not be a fanboy because he didn't even notice me. And All Might starts to walk away, and Izuku starts to walk the other way, deciding it's time to train with his morpher. And yeah. Izuku doesn't just have access to the Green Ranger, even though that's the one that he bonded to. He has access to all the Rangers, all of them. no matter what their color is. It doesn't matter what their color is, he has access to all of them. Meaning he can transform into his Red Ranger form, which the Pirate Rangers is what I call them. They have their own elements. I'm giving them their own elements that they can control. Obviously, green will be earth, water will be blue will be water, yellow will be yellow will be wind, and red will be fire, and yellow will be sand, pink will be wind. Okay. And for different types of colors, I'll change it up a little. But that's just for him. Obviously, silver, the Silver Ranger power, metal, obviously, is like basic knowledge. Like, it matches with the color. So, yeah. Izuku would start trying to train with his whole Ranger team, unlocking a new power-up key in the process, which he would like to call Pirate Ranger Armor Key, which is a power-up in the Japanese version of this Power Ranger show. I'm not allowed to say it because I could get copyrighted from this. Yeah. So that's why I haven't uploaded it in a while, and that's why it's just coming out on Wednesday. Usually I thought about posting a Naruto video instead of this video, so yeah. What was I thinking about again? Oh yeah, Izuku trained for those 10 months and was able to do a lot of things. He trained with the red Jungle Force Ranger key, and he also trained with the red Samurai key. Not to mention, he trained with the green Mystic Force Ranger and the blue Mystic Force Ranger, and he trained with all the Rangers from his team. So, yeah. Meaning he has mastered all the Rangers from his team, but he hasn't mastered all the other Rangers. He only knows about those Rangers right now, and he hasn't really tried to summon any others, because on his phone on his morpher it says locked. So yeah, he can't summon those keys yet. Okay. Izuku, after the 10 months, would get ready to go to basically get into the big place. Izuku would explain his quote-unquote quirk allows him to have many transformations, and some of his transformations, almost all of his transformations, are still locked. And they would think, like, this kid must have a lot of powers with this transformation quirk of his. And he would show one of his transformations. They would say he couldn't use the weapons, but he could use the powers. So he would narrow it down to about 3 transformations, which would be about 10... I would say he can transform for one legendary transformation costs 20 minutes, while a regular transformation, it can last for up to an hour. So yeah. Izuku would actually beg them to allow him to use his swords and his blasters, since they technically are his powers, and they would actually think for a second, yeah, since they actually are his powers, they would actually allow him to use them. But because if he explained that it wasn't his quirk, they would not even allow him to use the swords at all, let alone the powers. So yeah, Izuku would actually walk inside, being so excited, and then he would see Bakugo, and he would try to turn right around when he would bump into Uraka. Uraka falling this time, and Izuku catching her. And Uraka would actually thank Izuku, with Issei saying it's no problem, and in his head, screaming he actually talked to a girl. Yes, he did this in canon. It said, except he fell, and Uraka caught him. So, yeah. Izuku would pick up Uraraka and would actually walk her inside to make sure she doesn't fall anymore. And Uraraka would sit right next to Izuku on the test. And yeah, that's basically how well that went. Izuku would decide to try and team up with Uraraka and ask her if she ever needed any help on the exam. He will help. So yeah. Izuku would finish the exam in about the third place, while Uraraka was in fourth place, with Bakugo being in fifth place. I don't know how Bakugo would feel about being fifth smartest, but yeah, he's fifth smartest technically. Well, Izuku would go to the gate of the practical exam with Uraraka being there as well. Izuku would walk over to Uraraka until Ida would stop him, and Ida would tell him to leave her alone. She's trying to focus on the battle, and Izuku would tell Ida to basically move away, and Ida would try to block him again. Izuku would hold his hand and would summon his morpher, and his belt would also be summoned as well. He would say, "Do you really want to do this? I'm trying to talk to a friend, and you're just trying to block me from that. So, back up." And then the President Mike would say, "Run, run, run. There's no time. There's no timer. There's no time to be. I forgot what he said. Something like there's no time to save people. I forgot what he said, okay? But yeah, Izuku and Ida would run off, going in separate ways, with Izuku going into the red, what was it? Oh yeah, the red Mystic Force Ranger actually popping on his broom and would start gliding off at top speeds like it's nothing. He would also use his fire magic to blast away any robots that he sees on the way. Him actually searching around trying to find Uraraka. So at this point in time, he didn't get as much points as he would have if Izuku would actually start rushing even more, stopping himself for a little bit, thinking that he'll probably see her later, and would start bashing in robots with basically the green Ranger and its buff form, the green Mystic Force Ranger and its buff form, and would start smashing robots together. As Izuku would do this, he would still not see Uraraka, wondering where she would be. He would just keep to himself and start smashing in more robots, taking 2 more transformations in the process, which me personally thinking it would be his blue counterpart Ranger and then his red counterpart Ranger, also defaulting back into his green form, because I'm gonna say that his counterpart Rangers technically count as legendaries because they're not his original Ranger form. So yeah, Izuku would start running off, trying to find someone to attack. Trying to find some basically robots to attack, even though he really has like 90 points. And yeah, Izuku would basically smash robots on the way, not really getting too many, thinking that he wants to give people more points, and then the 0 pointer would appear, or Uraraka would be stuck, and Izuku, instead of transforming into a Ranger form, he would transform into the Red Ranger, then the Pink Ranger, then the Blue Ranger, and then the Yellow Ranger, and then the Green Ranger, and summon his Megazord. And all the Megazords would combine. All the Zords would combine and turn into I forgot what this show is called, so I don't really remember. I'm just going to call it Megazord. And the Megazord would be summoned, and he would start bashing in the robot with his 2 basically swords that he has on the robot, with them thinking that he must have so many forms just to do that. And he would start bashing in even more robots, and then they would be basically reduced into a puddle. Izuku would transform back into his Green Ranger form and would actually turn into the Mystic Force Green Ranger to get Uraraka out of the rubble, and would carry her to Recovery Girl so Recovery Girl could heal her. Uraraka would ask who is Izuku. Izuku would turn back into his regular form and would say his name is Mizuku. I was about to say Mizuku Midoriya. His name is Izuku Midoriya. With all of them with Uraraka being surprised, seeing that it's the boy that called her from earlier, and Izuku heard the bell, so he had to go, because that marked the end of the training session. Not the training session, the getting into UA. And he would run to his home and would tell his mom all about it. And the next 2 weeks, he would get his acceptance letter stating that he was got first place in the entrance exams and is the basically runner-up. Not the runner-up, that means second. Sorry. Izuku got first place, basically. He would get to school the next day and would start his life as a hero academia. Izuku would see the giant 1A door and would sit down in his seat, thinking to wait and stay quiet because, he thinks that his teacher might be one of those kind of teachers. The one that say, sit and shut up, don't talk. And Izuku was especially right. When Aizawa made himself known, he would tell them it took them all too long just to quiet down. And Aizawa would tell them to go to testing site E after changing into your gym uniforms. As that would happen, Izuku would summon his morpher, and Izuku would absorb those clothes into the morpher, unlocking a key. At this point, Izuku would get the stats of the key, the morpher stating that this key unlocks your quirk. With everyone hearing this, and since this was out loud, everyone was thinking, he doesn't have a quirk, but he has so much power in that entrance exams. As Bakugo heard this, he would grab Izuku's collar, stating that, why do you not have a quirk, you nerd? And Izuku would be thinking, he would try to be coming up with an excuse at that point. Izuku would not being able to come up with one, he would have to come clean to the whole class. He would say that he was chosen by a basically giant stone face, and he was chosen to be the world's first Power Ranger, and basically be a hero from here on out, and stop someone known as All for One. Ha, you didn't know I was going to say that. So, yeah. The key would state that this power is to absorb different powers, and when the key is activated again after absorbing someone's power, he is able to use that power forever as long as he is transformed into this form, which really isn't a form, it's more of a power-up. Izuku would ask some of the classmates to give them a piece of hair, and the key, some of them would imply, and some of them wouldn't. Some of them, like Uraraka, Ida, Kirishima, and Bakugo, actually Bakugo wanting more of a challenge, and then Todoroki, but only giving his red hair, since he would think that only giving the red hair will take away his power, even though, no, that's not how it works. Todoroki, I'm sorry, you poor messed up teenager. As Izuku would absorb all the DNA, the key would be scanned again, and it would say new powers locked, one power unlocked, which would have been the first power to absorb, which was Kirishima's DNA, meaning that Izuku has Kirishima's quirk now. Well, after Aizawa hearing that, thinking that he might not be allowed into the sports festival, Izuku would reassure Aizawa, stating that this morpher is not really a support item, neither is the belts. They're fully connected to my soul, meaning if they were to basically be unconnected, he would perish. Bakugo, hearing this, thinking that if somebody had that type of technology, Izuku would be in danger. With his old best friend being in danger, he wants to make sure that Izuku gets strong enough to fight Bakugo. Well, to fight himself. So, yeah. And we're almost done with the video, and I've taken too long. So, how about further ado, I will stop this video, and you guys can watch something else, because that is where I'm going to leave this video off. And I hope you like it, and I also hope that you guys will subscribe and help me get to my 300 subscriber mark before the end of February. And let's get out of this video. Bye! Ninja says bye.